Hello Year 4, I hope you're all well. This is Mr. Santos here, and today we're going to be making the first instrument for our homemade orchestra. Before we do that, there's something I want to show you. This is a cigar box guitar. It's called a cigar box guitar because it's simply a guitar, as you can see, and it's made from a cigar box, a box that used to hold cigars in it. It's made of wood, and it used to be made by people who maybe couldn't afford to buy a guitar, and they'd make it out of cigar box. So you just get a box, and you can put a neck in it, a piece of wood for a neck, and you can put some strings in it. This one's got 3 strings. You can get ones with 4 strings, or 6 strings, or sometimes even just 1 string. So let me just play you a little bit so you can see, so you can hear how it sounds. There you go. The reason I wanted to show you that is because that's kind of what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making a box guitar. I've got my helper here, Luca, who's going to be helping me out to make it. And there's very few things you need for this one. You're going to need a box of some sort, obviously. Now I've got a little shoe box here, but really any sort of box will do. You can have big box, small box, and you can be made of any sort of material. And you're going to need some elastic bands. And they're going to need to be elastic bands that are going to fit around your box. So obviously, because the box I've got here is a little bit, it's a fairly big box, I need fairly big elastic bands. If you have a smaller box, you might need something smaller, because otherwise they might snap. So the first thing is to remember, now if you look at the cigar box guitar, the reason why it needed a box to go around it is to amplify the sound of the strings. The strings are going to make a sound anyway, but a lot of the time you can't hear them unless they're not loud enough. So if you remember, we think back to when we were doing sound in science. As we know, sound is just vibrations in the air, isn't it? It's just waves of vibrations in the air. And the taller the vibrations, then the louder the sound, isn't it? That's called the amplitude of the sound. And that's why we need a box, really. Because again, our elastic bands, like the strings, they're going to make a sound anyway if we stretch them. If you put them close to your ear and you sort of flick them like that, you can just about hear it. Go like that. You can just about hear it. It's not very loud. So that's why we need the box. Because those sound waves that come from there, that's what's going to be vibrating, but then those sound waves are going to be bouncing around here, and as they bounce around that box and come out, they're going to get taller and taller, so the amplitude is going to get bigger, and then therefore they're going to get louder. So that's all we're going to do. So to start with, I'm going to just get my elastic band, and I'm going to put it around my box. I'm going to make sure that the box is open, or you can cut a hole out on the top if it's not an open box, and then I'm going to put my elastic band around it. So I can go like that, and already I can hear a sound. I don't know about you, but that really reminds me of like a bass, actually, more than a guitar. It reminds me of like a double bass that you might get in an orchestra. It's quite a low sound. Remember, when I say low, I'm not talking about the amplitude or the loudness of it. I'm actually talking about the pitch. The pitch, what kind of note it's playing. It's quite a low note. Now, if we want to make the pitch higher, if you remember, again, when we were doing sound, what makes the pitch higher or lower is the frequency of the waves, how squished together those waves are. Is there lots of waves together, or is this quite spaced out? If they're quite close together, then the pitch is going to be higher. And in order to do that, all we need to do is tighten our elastic. So again, if I make my elastic a little bit tighter, that's going to be a bit higher now. It's quite a lot higher, can you hear that? Now, if you remember, when I was playing my cigar box guitar, I had one of these. That's called a slide, okay? And I can use that on these as well, because again, when I put the slide on it, that's going to make the elastic go a little bit tighter, which means, again, it's going to be the frequency, the vibrations are going to have a higher frequency, which means the pitch is going to go up. So again, you can see that, if we look in here, you can see that this is where I might need my helper, actually. Can you hold the box for me, please? If you just hold it like that so we can see it, so then I can just go like that. I can put my slide on it and I can go like this. the further down I move the slide, you can hear the pitch going up, can't you? Now, I know a lot of you might not have slides like this at home, but to be honest, that's not a problem. Because the whole point of these slides, when people first started using these with those cigar box guitars, they didn't use slides. What they'd often use is bottles. They might have had a bottle in their hand, or they might have had a piece of metal or something, and they found that by putting on the strings, they could change the pitch. So that's what we're going to use. Now, I've got a little, thank you very much, I've got a little bottle here. It's just a sort of little spice bottle, but you can use any sort of bottle that you've got at home. Glass always works better, but you can try different materials and see what happens. And again, I can just use that. Do you want to hold that again? So we can do that, and again, I can just go like this. And you can try messing around with that until you get a nice little tune out of it. So that's our cigar box guitar, and that's really all there is to it. Now you could, if you wanted to, add another elastic, so you can make more than one, so you can have more than one note at the same time. You could play chords with it. Remember, a chord is just two notes together. Well, two or more notes together. So again, if I do this, I've actually got more or less the same pitch on those two, so I'm just going to make one of them tighter so that it goes a little bit higher. And then we've got two different notes. And there you go. And you can try experimenting with lots of different. You can use different sizes of boxes, so thank you very much. You want to show us? So for example, we've got one here that's a lot smaller. And that makes slightly different sounds. You can try different materials. So we've got one here, as you can see, the first one was cardboard. That's made of plastic. That's made of clay. You can try different materials and see which one you like the sound of better. You can try different shapes. We've got a round one here. Now that can be quite hard because the elastic keeps slipping off. But I tell you what helps with that, blue tack. You can try different sizes, you can try different materials, and you can just try making the elastic tighter or looser so you can get different pitches and see what you get. All that remains now is for us to decorate it. So I'm going to ask for some help from my helper here. Luca, would you like to take it away? And there we have it. So you can see all we've done is we've painted the box, and then we've put a neck in it. So all you need to do, we've used the roll from some wrapping paper that we had. You can use, if you've got some tin foil maybe, or some cling film, something, an empty roll of that you can use. We've painted the frets in with just a marker pen, and then we've decided to cut out a little head to put on it. We've got 3 different strings on it, and there we go. We've got our guitar. Would you like to play something on it? There we go. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing all of your sounds you can make on it. See you next time.